Bippity boppity boo, the Berlin Wall said boo you.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Welcome to Queerly Disturbed. I'm Jon'Moll, your co-host, and as you can see, I'm by myself, all alone, because Carly is late. Again.
Girl, what the fuck?
Tonight we have a really, really special guest, a co-producer of one of our favorite shows in town, The Chocolate Factory. She's one of our favorite bartenders at the Albuquerque Social Club. Just about one of my favorite people to talk to, honestly. Please welcome Miss Dyonne Dahl.
Queerly Disturbed. A peculiar public access show. Produced by Jon'Moll and Carly Quinn.
I feel like when we start recording, my mind blanks sometimes when I do this.
My mind blanks when I'm not recording.
Yeah, my mind blanks all the time.
So.
But like we've talked about so much.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're one of our favorite drag performers.
Well, thank you.
Our favorite dancer girl, producer of one of the biggest completely black produced, black casted shows.
It's never happened
in Albuquerque,
before.
which doesn't happen like at all.
Yeah, it was a joke. One of your sister actually, Cece, turned 21, and I was like, oh gosh, we have enough girls to have a black girl group.
Yes.
And me and Avery just kind of were like messing around with it, and then there was a show available in February, Black History Month, so we turned it into an all black cast show because there's never been one in Albuquerque ever.
And it turns out.
It turned out to be, historic. It was great.
That's so cool.
Surprising, and so happy to be a part of it.
It turns out really, really well.
Yeah, it really does. It's good that the community can really come to, both communities, the black community and the gay community, can all come together and just celebrate everything about the Chocolate Factory and what it represents.
And it's really cool to have it at one of the oldest clubs in New Mexico, like one of the oldest queer clubs.
I know, I just happened to work there too.
But yeah, so you also bartend there, yes?
I do.
How long have you been working with Soch?
Now bartending since 2018, so like 6 years. I'm the oldest bartender now that some of them have moved away. So I've been there the longest out of all the bartenders now.
You're the senior bartender now.
I am. Yeah, but I don't look like
it. Honestly, I love seeing you at Soch all the time. It's so fun.
I'm literally there every day, almost.
What other endeavors do you have for drag? How long have you been doing drag?
Honestly, so I've been in the community, backup dancing and choreographing for Queens forever. For 15 years. That's kind of my introduction to drag. Everybody wanted me to be a drag queen then, and I was like, no. And then when I moved back from California, I started working at the Soch, and I was just like, honestly, being very blunt, I was like, what happened to drag in Albuquerque? It used to be so good. And at the time, I was just like not impressed by a lot of people. At the time, it was just, they were just kind of like going through the motions. They weren't really like giving it their all. At the time. Again, I said at the time.
Yeah, these are the new times now.
Yeah, they're definitely new. So the manager at the time was also a drag queen, and she's like, well, if you keep complaining about it, I'm going to make you do it. And she did, and I took people's jobs. Honestly, and I like it. It stuck.
And you're honestly a really good performer, too.
Well, yeah, I've been doing it for a really long time. Dancing and performing for a really long time. But, in that way, it was easy to transition from dancer, into a drag queen. It was... not that it just had to throw on a lash and there you go.
The evolution is pretty easy. It's pretty fun.
It was good though, because I got to learn something completely new. I've been dancing for 20 years, professionally everywhere, teaching, but to learn a whole new art form with that passion in it too was really it's still fun. Still getting to now actually be Britney Spears instead of just mimicking her.
Yeah, and feel so cunt.
Yes, exactly.
Are you still working at FX as well?
I do.
You still tend there?
I still tend when they need me to, and then I'm part of the Fierce Friday there.
Yes,
Team Fierce. Yes. So
that's so
another
cool.
one. Yeah.
When is your next Team Fierce show? Do you know any dates for that? Because I know Chocolate Factory's February 3rd.
Then the next Fierce Friday, we're gonna start back up. February 5th, actually. So right before that.
Cool.
Oh,
Sweet.
no,
So
sorry,
they'll-
January 5th. I'm
January
sorry.
5th. So it'll
January
just be a
5th.
busy 2 months.
Yeah, we're going to start
Nice.
back up again. So it'll be probably once a month again.
Cool.
We're going to try to bring Rue Girls here,
That's so fun. I
restart
love
it up
that.
again. Hopefully.
How's been performing with Team Fierce? When did you get put on Team Fierce? Like when did the are you like one of the like early like really early
No,
on
I would
Team
say I'm in the
Fierce? You're
middle.
kind of in the middle?
Yeah, so it
Okay.
started, I don't even know how long ago. Um, I didn't live here when it started,
Mm-hmm.
but I knew about it. So Calorie and Jessica and Violet were already on it at the time. So I've been doing it now. Let's see, I've been drag for 6 years, so 5 years. So my thing is,
Nice.
I started doing drag, and the first thing that I wanted to do was be on Team Fierce because at that time that was like the cream of the crop to me, and
Right.
I should have taken a minute to just be like, oh, let me like perfect this, and said I'm an Aries, I wanted to be number one right
Right, you
away.
just wanted to
So
get
like
right
that
to
was
it.
I like did drag for like a month, and then I was like I need to be on Team Fierce. So
Right. The
and
Mars
that's what
energy.
happened.
The Mars energy made it
Yeah,
happen.
you
though.
know it did. I was just like, okay, well I need to be up there, and I shot for the top and I made it. So,
Honestly, good for you though.
yeah, but yeah, it's been a couple years now.
And it's been going pretty strong at like
Mhm.
with the Fierce shows. Like
Yeah, it's
I
a
know that
fun.
I know that because of the drag economy here, like it's not as often, but
Mhm.
when it does come, it's just as
Yeah.
good, and it's been really consistent. It's
Mhm.
really fun to watch.
Well, because it's ad effects, you just get a different demographic of people that
Yes.
tend to not want to just like go. They won't show up to social sidewinders like some do, of course. But then
Yeah.
you also get some people that aren't actually there for a drag show, but then they stay and watch, and you get a new database of people that are like, oh wow, I actually really like this. This
Yeah.
is really cool. You get to. So it's really fun there.
Yeah.
It's very young. You get
It
a
is
young
young,
crowd,
yeah.
but it's still huge and fun, and downtown live. It's a different vibe than
I
it's not
haven't
as
been.
burlesque. It's just like stage presence.
Yeah.
And,
It is. Yeah, it's a lot different than going over to Soch because Soch
right,
is a lot like going to, let's say, a cabaret
right, exactly.
and things like that. And a lot of us often forget that that kind of scene is still kind of niche.
Hmm.
But honestly, things like Drag Race made some of drag a bit more accessible to
Right.
people. And that is what I've noticed, at least what FX can offer a bit,
Mhm.
is they do try to go into a bit more of the like new age relatable drag, which is
Right.
kind of nice.
Yeah.
And it is a bit of a different crowd, and I'm glad that that's available at
Yeah,
least.
I
And
mean,
I like that stage.
yeah,
It's really fun.
It's fun. The only thing I hate about it is there's a pole in the middle that's like off
The
center.
pole in
As
the middle
the
is a little
dancer in
weird,
me,
yeah.
it drives me crazy because it's off center. If you're ever pay
Yeah.
attention now,
It is
you'll
off
notice it
center,
now.
yeah.
But it's off center. But you can't remove a pole that is weight bearing. But
Mhm.
I know I love that stage. It's really fun.
The only two things that were not my favorite about it are the pole, and sometimes the acoustics for the music is
Yeah.
a little bit weird.
Mhm.
But if you have your music memorized and like the beat,
Right.
it's not the end of the world.
They've actually changed it because I mean I've
Oh,
been there
okay,
forever.
cool. So it's been
They
updated.
they didn't have like monitor speakers for us, so it would like echo for like because
Mhm.
especially for us like when you're performing against the wall. So now they've changed it around a little bit, so it's a little bit easier to hear. But before is like you had to get to a certain spot, then you could hear stuff, especially with people cheering.
Yeah.
But yeah, now they've kind of changed it a little bit, so we actually have a monitor that we can hear our music right away.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, because if you leaned all the way against that white wall, like you'd be like, I can't hear.
Right,
You
like, you
can't
just
hear. You're
can't
like,
get it
sorry
at
guys, I
all.
need to thank you for cheering, but I
Yeah,
can't
you're
hear
like,
my
"But I
words.
can't even hear my own thing."
Yeah,
Yeah, good
but
luck
they've
doing
changed
this.
it. They've changed it
Okay,
since
good.
I think after COVID is when they
Oh,
got it, and they
cool.
built the bleachers and everything. They kind of
Yes, I
changed
have
the
seen the
downstairs.
bleachers. Yeah, the
Yeah, they
bleachers
kind
are
of
cool.
redid it up and vamped it. So
Yeah.
it's been really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So how would you describe your drag persona or aesthetic, or just like whatever you like to offer for your drag?
I mean, again, I started off as a dancer, so I always
Yes.
would say people call me the dancing diva, and that title's been bestowed on a lot of people.
There's a
And
lot of people that
yeah,
are the
and
dancing
I
diva,
love that.
yeah.
So with me, I like to choreograph stuff. I love
Yes.
to have backup dancers
Yeah.
and give you that like MTV you just saw music video. So what I like to say I am is like the choreography queen. Like
Yeah, because that is different.
yeah, like some people can buck and do all the wada, 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 and kick
Right.
and like that's no. I don't I don't need to jump off
No,
a,
right. You
a
like those
bus to
steps
do the
like a
splits. Like
form.
I want you to be like, did I just watch a music video?
Yeah, you want those
I'm
steps.
that girl. Like I love to give you what like you're like, was that Tinashe? Was that Beyonce? Who was that? Who did I just see? Like that's what I like to give.
Honestly, you're gonna have to send me clips that you really like of your performances, and
Yeah.
then while we're talking, I can just clip you
Definitely.
because
I
that would
will,
be
yeah.
like
Yeah.
because a lot of your performances are really good
Yeah,
and they're
thank you.
really kind, and you do really invest a lot
Mhm.
in like making it appreciative of just yourself and
Mhm.
what and like your training and your choreography
Mhm.
work. It's really cool.
Thank
like
you.
I love it.
Well, to me, like I said, I don't get me wrong, I love getting tips, but I have to choreograph to get tips because like that's not what
Right.
I do drag for. I don't
No,
do it
right.
for
You're doing it
that. I
'cause-
do it so
yeah.
if you sat down and just watched the whole time and you felt like you watched a music video,
Yeah.
that is enough payment to me.
Exactly.
Like I don't that's what I want you to feel.
Yeah.
You don't have to stand up and give me $1 and thank you if you do, but you don't have to. Like I
Right.
want you to just be in an experience and then come away and be like, wow, that was awesome.
I love that, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I like to do.
And
Not dissing anybody else that just loves to get those dollars. That's
Yeah.
your prerogative. But
No,
I don't,
right, but some
to
people
me, it
just
doesn't
like to
matter.
feel their judge.
Yeah, I just
and
want you to like.
yeah.
Did I just watch that? Did I just watch the like VMAs? Like that's what I like to do.
See, for performers like you, this is why we need tip kittens.
Mm.
This is why you have
Yeah.
stage kittens that can have the bucket so people can tip while you can just literally mind your business and do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is the bitch here finally?
I am.
Are you Kenough right now?
Yes, I am. Oh my goodness. We'll get a little like applause track right here.
Oh my.
Thank you. I tried. We were just talking about how like fast I got ready. I was really surprised because I was like running late, and I was like, actually, I'm already done. I'm surprised.
You got ready faster than me because I
Yeah,
was
I got
starting
ready
at
in like an hour and a
11:20.
half.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, I read her text wrong. Are this filming?
Oh yeah, we're
Oh,
fine.
okay,
Oh
cool.
wait,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
yeah, wait,
I
wait.
didn't know.
Hi.
Sorry,
Okay,
guys.
Hi, everybody. I'm back.
Please welcome to the stage, Kashmir.
Yes, Carly was not available today, so I stepped in.
That's
She's
a man, Mari.
She's in rehab.
Cause why?
Why
She's a
not?
workaholic.
I don't know.
Why
She's a
not?
workaholic.
Why not?
She said, "I don't know. That's none of my business."
I mean,
He
every
said, "I
every
don't know
pop
who that
icon has
is."
to go to rehab. So
Recap.
Recap.
He said, "I don't know. I don't know any of Carly's business."
Yeah, I don't. I only know what my parole officer tells me.
Or, well,
How
we
are
were
you?
I'm great. How are you?
we were
I'm
just going
good.
off about I was just honestly poking her about her as a drag queen and
Yeah?
just like pretending to be Ellen, I guess,
I love it.
minus being abusive like Ellen.
Yeah.
Right.
But you know,
we
just
didn't
all
dance,
of
you
So
the
you're
get
more like
to our
Kelly
chair.
Clarkson.
yeah, just all of the
There you go.
questions.
There you go.
You
God,
know.
like the pink, the
Yeah.
shoes.
I'm
oh
just
my
giving
God.
Black Barbie today is what I was
I
trying to go
love
for.
I feel like I mentioned this last episode, but I've been really getting into Fortnite, and we just are constantly looking like Fortnite skins.
We are.
We
Yeah.
look like a bunch of Fortnite. You know what? It's
Every
giving
Albuquerque
also.
drag
This
queen
is.
does.
I
at
feel
this
like
point.
we're both trying to embody. You're embodying very traditional Nikki,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm
Oh,
embodying
yeah.
when they wanted to, for some reason, put Nikki in Call of Duty, and
Yeah,
all the
oh,
gays eat
right,
it up.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
You like this outfit's giving me Zoe Deschanel if she decided to become like a punk singer.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
wig on a couple different occasions, people will be like, "Oh,
I do get
are
that.
you Oliver
Yeah.
Tree?" They're like,
Yeah,
"Are you
it's-
supposed to be Oliver Tree?" And I'm like, "You know what? I kind of like that." I'm
Well,
like,
see,
"That's
like,
kind of funny."
when you called me because
Have
she
you
called
seen
me
Oliver Tree?
earlier.
Mm-mm.
He's this guy from like Vine, and he's the one that makes that song, the "Life Goes on and on and on and on and on." I don't know if you've heard
Yeah.
it. It's a weird like viral song, but he wears a bowl cut like this, and
Yep.
he's really weird.
Well,
He
I
dated
like
Felony
it.
Martinez,
Mm,
Felony
it's true.
Fartinez for 5 minutes.
It's true.
So did I. No, I'm just kidding.
So did I. Wow. we're
No,
learning
wait. I'm sorry. I
everything.
just have a felony. Oh, wait. That's what it was.
Nar, nar.
Wow, we're starting strong.
But I was
That's
just
fine.
going to ask until Kashmir came. Until Kashmir came.
So ignore the chipped nail polish.
Um,
Getting into shit.
You said you were doing dancing in California as well.
Yeah.
What were you doing for dancing in California?
The typical, I want to be at first I moved there because I wanted to be like a Disney Channel star. Like I wanted to be on That's So Raven and, be next to Zendaya. I mean, I still want to be next to Zendaya, but
Who doesn't?
yeah, I did that. I did some Disney stuff.
Nice.
At like the Disney there, Disneyland. And just, try to do music videos. I did a lot of stuff for up and coming artists. So,
That's so
because
cool.
in the entertainment business, especially when I was in it, it was very who you knew.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
a
it's
lot
so
of people
nice.
would, a lot of people would get cast that were like, oh, well, I've already worked with you before, so you're good. And also, I'm very tall. What people don't realize is like,
Mm,
on TV, so people look tall, but they're probably
They're
like
all
five
pretty
six,
tiny.
5'7". I'm
Yep.
6 foot,
Yep.
so but I looked 12,
Mm.
so it was it was hard to cast me where at certain
Right.
places because I looked really young, but I also was really tall. So if I
It's
did
like
get
Bruno
cast for
Mars.
things, yeah, I would be getting the back. But so it was fun. I did it for, I was there for 10 years, but I did it for about 5.5. And then I kind of stepped back because it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
And,
I can
life
imagine.
happens.
Right.
And then honestly, I started to want to get into acting. And so I did that a little bit too. And then I had to move back to Albuquerque for family reasons. And then COVID hit right after that. And
Right, and here you
she's
are.
still here. And now I'm a woman.
And now you're kicking, and now you're a lady, and now you're the lady of the
I know.
I'm a
night.
woman.
They don't call it the land of entrapment for nothing.
Hello.
Yep.
Hello.
Yep.
Yeah.
I never
6
realized
years.
that
I
you were
got
like,
back and they took my passport. They said, nope, we're not going anywhere. I was all, dang it.
I never realized that you were like turning it out in California for a while.
Yeah, I loved California.
everything
I mean, I
was-
came back and visited a lot, so a lot of people didn't realize that I was gone. But
Uh-huh.
yeah,
I'm just thinking about your passport. Like, that
Right.
you went into the airport.
right. They're
And
like,
they're like,
oh,
this passport has Roadrunner shit
right.
on it.
They're like, no, sorry. Is this
Not the
is this
Roadrunner
is
shit.
this Dion's Ranch? No, you can't. I'm sorry. We're gonna have to
You
take
can't
that
take that
back.
bottle.
No, but that is like what people don't realize is that is like gold. Like I used to have Hidden Valley. I used to get it shipped to me. It's a New Mexico thing, but like people would come over like, can I try that? I was like, with your finger, like you get this much.
Yeah, you only
That's
like
right.
It
yeah,
is,
that's it.
A
and
whisper.
everybody I've ever had at my house has had it, like wants it. Like they're like, can you get me a bottle? Like
Yes.
it is very sacred.
Yeah,
to-
no, it's a
especially if
holy
you're a New
item.
Mexican and you move away.
Yep.
That's
It's a
right.
very sacred Dion's Ranch.
No,
and green
yes,
frozen green chili.
yes. And that green chili Dion's Ranch.
yeah.
Oh,
Ooh.
Jesus Christ.
And no, my name
Mm.
isn't Dion's from Dion's Ranch. FYI,
No,
everybody always is
no.
like, what? And I'm like, it's from Clueless, first of all. But
It's
No,
with
yeah.
a
but
Y.
it's with well, that's my brother's for show and tell.
I think it would be funny if there
Oh,
was some
that's
drag queen that
awesome.
wanted to be fucking Dion's Pizza
Mhm.
or something.
Well, because I spell it with a Y, Vanessa Patrick, so you can bleep that out. But I'll tell you, when it was my show, like when I was getting birthed,
Okay.
and she was like, "How do you say your name?" Because it's with the Y instead of an I. And she was all Dyonne, and I was like, "I'm not that black."
Dyonne. Oh
yeah,
my
she was all Dyonne. I was all
God.
Dion's, like the pizza, like, and she's like, "Oh,
Honestly,
Dyonne," and I was like,
Dyonne is kind of that's kind of iconic.
I mean,
makes me think
at
of, like,
this point, I guess
DNA.
it would fix, but I did it because I loved Dyonne from Clueless. I
Yes.
still do.
Right.
I mean, not Stacey Dash. She's problematic. Dyonne, the character, because she's black. She's bad and bougie, but she's also
And her
like
outfits are
right. She's
cute.
Yeah.
her facial. If you know me, you know that I'm always like, ugh.
this is true.
She
This is
she
true.
gives. She is me. I am her. We are very similar.
Oh, I
And,
totally
yeah.
see what
Yeah.
you mean.
Yeah,
Yes,
we are
very the
very-
I see
90s
it.
At least I
fantasy.
didn't skin a collie to make my backpack. Like, I am her. We are the same, and I love her and Stacey Dash.
Well, I've never seen you two in the same room, so
you know,
yeah.
You're right.
I just wish I
Never
had
seen-
hazel eyes like her, but you know, yeah,
But
They're
the actress who
contacts.
does play her is wild, doesn't she?
she is.
Like,
I
didn't
actually
she?
meet her I met her in LA. She shopped in my store that I worked at, and
Really?
she talked to me, but
what's
she
wrong
would
with
not
her
talk to any
again?
of the
Isn't she, like-
female. She's very, what is it, right wing?
Oh,
Yeah, especially
she's
for a black girl. I'm like,
red-pilled.
really? So she's a little crazy, but
Boo.
I
Well,
am Dyonne, not Stacey Dash.
Sometimes it happens.
But she's still gorgeous. I would
Right.
give her that.
No, right. Some of
She's
them.
still gorgeous, but just shut your mouth. I feel
Right,
that's
just,
what
like,
people-
stop
I feel like that's
talking.
what people say about me too, but they're like, just stop talking. I'm like, oh,
Oh no,
You
girl,
know,
there are way more girls in this place
Yeah,
that
that's
that we
true.
say that with.
You know, speaking of crazy problematic people, have you ever heard of Christian Walker?
No.
No.
It,
Oh,
who
well,
is
it's
that?
not really
Like a
that
soft
relevant.
rock
He is
Right.
Christian
he's
singer?
well, he is this. Do you know about him? I think you've seen him
Audience? Do you know? I'm
before.
just kidding.
Audience?
I think you've seen him before. He is that super right-winged like influencer who is the young, like super conventionally attractive
Oh,
black
he's like,
man, and his
yeah.
dad is like a crazy right-wing politician, and he recently has
Is
kind
he
of
from New Mexico?
no,
No, he's
Oh.
from
he
like
went viral for some Starbucks thing, and he drives a
Oh.
Porsche Cayenne and acts
Oh,
like a little
God.
Karen. But he's recently jumped left.
Oh, I
yeah,
like
'cause
And
that.
his dad ran
Watching
for,
his evolution to like coming
Yeah.
out of the red pill and going, he's literally been to front row Republican events, like
That's
Trump
right.
events, like
Yeah.
with his father. And you should look him up. It's wild.
Wasn't
He's
his dad
now
like a former football player?
yes,
Oh,
turned politician.
I do know who you're talking.
Yes,
Yes, I do
yes,
know who
yes,
you're
yes,
that
yes.
was-
His
I don't
dad
know
is the
why it was
football
that way.
player.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
I do
And
know who
I
you're
couldn't
talking about.
remember.
he's low key kind of such an icon now
Mm.
because he literally will be like, yes, we don't talk about that time.
Right. I
And
get
we're
it.
like,
we all
yes.
have
That
moment in
Delulu
life.
era.
Right.
That's right.
We
I
love a good
usually say,
problematic
when I say
bitch.
something like that, I'm like, when we're bringing up an ex, I'm like, we don't talk about that time.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That was when I was a little.
I
No,
was out
right.
of
That was
character.
when
it was
yeah,
a-
no, yeah.
I
that
came to
was
my senses.
that was your alter ego.
Oof,
Yeah, no. That was mm-mm.
too many of them.
So since I jumped
Well,
in so late.
Yeah, how are you? Yeah, your jump. I
Ugh.
cannot wait to edit the music into your jump in.
Oh, it'll be so fun.
But yeah, how
I
are
was
you?
gonna bring glasses. I
Well,
forgot, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's
So-
okay.
Sunglasses.
Here's the thing: is like everything was going fine. I was ready to film, and then my boss on Saturday was like, "Hey, the owners are coming to town, and would you be there on Monday?" Like,
Ew.
she was like, "You don't have to, but it's probably really."
Like, you don't
she's
have to,
basically
wink, wink.
right. Yeah, she's holding the gun to my nose, and she's like, "You don't have to, but I do have a bullet in here." So,
I still would have said no. But
well, but here's the thing. So then I sit there the entire day waiting, and I'm like, "All right, we're all dressed up. This is going well." And then we find out that they're not coming till tomorrow,
Oh,
and I was like,
even better.
I
You
said,
were
"This is
there-
fantastic."
you were literally there for no reason.
Yes, yeah, I was. Yeah, yeah. I already had
That's
that
some
mental breakdown
bullshit.
already.
That's some bullshit.
That is bullshit.
Bullshit.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
But so what? So since I've jumped in so late, what have you guys talked about so far? Like, what are you guys?
Well, we've just been talking about like being at Soch and
Chocolate
drag.
Factory.
Okay.
Oh,
We touched base
yes,
with that.
Chocolate Factory in February
Mhm.
3rd.
February 3rd. Yes, it is.
Um,
It's a 1 year anniversary.
Oh, that is
Yeah,
so
we had it-
exciting.
it was
Ooh.
1 year
You
ago.
know what would be really fun? We should go and bring someone to run a camera.
Yeah, oh my God. I would love that.
And
We would
maybe like
totally do
interview
that.
people and
Oh, yeah,
stuff
we
and
would
put it
love
in an
that.
episode or something.
Yeah.
That'd be really fun.
I'm so down.
Because we have the time, obviously. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm like,
Yeah.
We do.
February 3rd.
that'd be
yeah.
really fun.
For the audience, is there going to be a special guest this year?
So not for this one. So we have 2 chocolate factories a year so far. We have the February one for Black History Month.
Mhm.
So that's the 1 year anniversary, and then we have it for Black Pride. That's where we're probably going to bring another
Oh.
special guest because last year we had Coco King,
Ooh.
and we're going to probably most likely. I mean, I don't want
and I
to
loved
go too
her.
far, but most likely for that one we'll have another special guest. I mean,
That's so
you
exciting.
never know who's going to show up.
Right.
You know, it's not all set in stone yet, but yeah.
You know, as a producer, it's funny that you bring up that because isn't it nice having just like 2 shows a year?
I love it. And people always ask, like, when's the next chocolate factory? I was like, you don't produce it, so when we do it. Because it's
I
a
love
lot to be. Oh.
I'm getting pinched.
By what?
By my own fishnets. I'm wearing those
By the
fishnets where the
crushing weight
well,
of
I'm wearing
life.
those fishnets where the pussy is open.
Oh.
So when
Oh,
when you
yeah.
have like fat thighs and you sit a certain
And it
way,
stretches.
it just goes. Mm.
It compresses.
You know those toys where it's like the fishnet baggie with the jelly in it and
Oh,
you squeeze it.
yeah.
That's how that's what
It's
it
all-
does to you.
You know what?
Yeah.
I would do that with my own legs when I first started wearing fishnets. I would sit there and I'd go,
Oh.
yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. And then my
You could
friends
get
would
a
be
cyst
like,
that on
Yeah.
accident.
Ooh,
yeah,
careful.
you know what? I did. I did. I looked like the shape of water for at least a day.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah. Scales.
Yucky.
Scales
That made me
everywhere.
lose track of what we were.
Well, okay, so yeah.
Oh,
So
producing the show.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Show producing.
Yes.
Sorry.
So like
This
when
is
I
clearly
started
disturbed,
the
you know?
I don't know. I just have a 6 lives save lives, you know?
yeah,
That's
Yeah,
all
they
that's
do.
all that's in my head now because of what you said, but
ask
producing.
Jessica.
Yeah, right.
She knows. Those are the jaws of life right there.
Mhm.
She opens them up and she can lift up a car.
Yep. Love her.
It's true.
She's
Love
my
her.
best friend.
Love her. But yeah, I feel like producing 2 shows a year is so
Wonderful.
nice because
Yeah.
then you can put way more effort
Yes.
into the overall appearance, the
Mhm.
atmosphere,
You can really
selling
make it
tickets.
pop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I notice more performers get excited to do it.
Right. Well, and
True.
then the audience too is also gets really excited to come because if I mean, I am in other shows where we have one a month or whatever, and sometimes there's not a lot of us. You kind of get burnt
Right.
out, and the audience is
Yeah.
like they're excited to see you, but they're not. They're like, oh, okay, well,
I feel
Well,
like
and we're also
if they're
not
not
like
the
a-
regular like diehards
Yeah.
that come every
Yeah.
time,
Mhm.
then it's really hard to keep that consistency.
Well, and we're not like a regular vacation town. We're a
Mhm.
novelty town
Yeah.
or a
Right.
novelty city. So as places like Chicago and LA and New York and even parts of Texas, they get lots of more
Mhm.
passerby
Yeah.
stuff. So
Well, and
doing
then,
like consistent shows, like even when I was doing some of the like variety stuff,
Mhm.
it can be kind of a lot to do for New Mexico because it's like everyone's, first of all, it just feels like everyone's doing this.
Mhm.
And
yeah,
it's like, so what actually is making this like profitable?
Right.
well, and then
So the
you
two
also
shows
have
a
to
year
sit
is way
there and you have to
more.
go because I noticed with shows, New Mexico's really big about themes.
Mhm.
Like, and I feel like I don't know, hot take here, but when you don't do as many themes so often, it feels more original.
Right.
What do you think of themes, Dion, honestly?
I mean, if it's done right, I love it. But then some people come up with themes where I'm like, that is so specific that it's not fair. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
really?
Right.
Like, you have to really deep dive, and 5 other people are probably going to do it.
Yep.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if you have a Beyonce show, okay, cool, but not like that's a lot. I
Yep.
feel like if you
Right.
broaden it to, I don't know, just 2000s, where
Yeah.
Beyonce is involved,
Yeah.
or have, Beyonce, Rihanna, Britney,
I agree.
something like
I
that.
totally
Like,
agree.
I just feel like that's when it's so specific,
Right.
it gets a little bit crazy.
Because who wants
Unless
to
you
listen?
do it
Yeah.
complete, like, there's very few that can do it right. 'Cause
Yeah.
then you get some people that really try hard and they get the theme perfect, they get an A+, and then there's some people that are like, oh, I'm going to throw on a leotard and call it Britney. And I'm like,
That's right.
that's
Yeah.
not what I said.
I feel like when you do a smaller
yucky.
show, like say a brunch,
Mhm.
like how Lariah and
Yeah.
Avery do that brunch,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
you can do a specific theme when you
Yeah.
have like 4 or 5 people.
Mhm.
But when you got a cast of
Yeah.
10, 15 people and you're
Right.
trying to do a circus show, everybody's going to do Circus by Britney,
Yeah.
You're right.
Carousel by Melly Martinez, Funhouse by Pink.
It gets monotonous, and you're like, unless you do it right, which not everybody does.
Right.
It's like, why even try, or why
My-
even watch?
My
really?
favorite theme that I've worked with once that I was just like, this would be a good one to do again was Witches and Wizards.
That was a fun one.
Witches and Wizards, that's so easy because you can do like
Right.
musical stuff.
Yeah,
You can do
it's
gaming.
very-
You can do books. You can do
Mhm.
movies.
I
It can
think
really
my
be
favorite
anything.
one that we ever did was the dystopia one. Because we really went out with the like
Yeah, Apocalypse is pretty fun to do. I've done Apocalypse like multiple times honestly, which is kind of weird.
it fits
But I've
Mexico.
I've done
because-
Apocalypse like a few times because we did Dystopia.
Yep.
When
San
I
Diaz
did
pageant.
when I did the Duke City pageant, I was Wrath because it was 7 Deadly Sins, which is an
Mhm.
apocalyptic theme.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
And then the pageant that I got was Apocalypse as well. And I'm like, what is up with the world ending?
I mean,
it's Albuquerque, New
It's-
Mexico.
But it low key is, but
yeah.
it's fine.
Like for me, even when I first started, like I had to realize, like, because I do love a good theme, but not everybody is you and does your aesthetic. So for
Yeah,
me,
true.
I can pull out a theme like today, and
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I got it. But I now, especially because I produce, you want to be able to have cohesiveness through your show. That's very important. But there's a
Yes.
difference between being cohesive and having a theme. That's
Mhm.
like, But I feel like we're different. I want you to thrive in what you're doing too. I don't want, if you don't like Britney Spears, I don't want to do, and I have done a free Britney show, and but if you don't like her, that's sucks for you.
Right.
Do you know what I
Right,
mean? You're
'cause
just
now
like,
you
well, what
have
am
to
I
pick a
going to do?
Britney
So I
song.
still want you to thrive in what you do and thrive in what you do and put your best drag forward. So when I think of
Right.
themes, I always think of what my cast can do to the level of their, not just what I can do. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, oh, well, this is going to make me look good, but what is it going to make you guys look? I don't
Right.
deal with that.
Because it can't
I
always
want you
be
to
about
be,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
think
fall. I struggle with that sometimes because I can just be a selfish ass bitch in my opinion, and that's where
It's
I'm
just,
just like,
for me,
you
it's
need to
just
sit in your
learning.
seat, bitch.
Right. I mean,
think,
also
like,
step up, but like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
you want your
it's
show,
not,
your
you're
whole
not the
show to be
only star
successful,
of the
not
show.
just your performance.
Right, you're not
Right.
you're not fucking Pearl on the stage.
Right.
Like,
I think one of my things about like when I do shows, I will have a theme for the overall atmosphere, but I always tell the performers that whatever they want to do is it's open theme for
Mhm.
them.
Yeah.
Because as far as the audience is concerned, they like the entire setup.
Mm-hmm.
But for the performers, it's a load off their shoulders. They don't have to come up with a whole new number and try and desperately think of something.
Mhm.
They can find something that they're good at and then refine it
Yeah.
and then bring out some of their best drag.
Exactly. And that's what I want to see. I want to see your best drag because that's entertaining.
Right.
I don't want to try to
Exactly.
see you be me. Like, everybody, anytime I do a show, and, I love Lariah, but she's like, does it have to be high energy? And I was like, no, you do you. You, like, I want you to do your best drag because that's what I like. That's what I like about you.
right.
Yes, I dance and do all these things. You don't need to have dancers. That's,
Right, you.
I don't,
right.
like, you don't have to. That's what I'm saying. Don't try to work,
You don't
be
need
this
to
caliber.
appease me
Like,
and
yeah,
flatter
do
me
your
by
best
doing
drag because
me.
that's what I think is entertaining.
Right, exactly.
We don't have to, like, just because I'm doing,
It doesn't need to be a mirror.
Yeah, yeah. It just do your best drag and what you feel like bringing.
Mm-hmm.
Because
that makes
it's
me
when somebody's in their moment, you connect it, you feel it.
Yeah.
confidence
When
is
they're
sexy. Yeah.
when they're like in their like fucking niche and they're in their groove and they're feeling themselves, that's the best drag.
True.
When somebody's trying too hard, which I have done plenty of times, you can tell. You're just like they're a little bit uncomfortable. They're like, you could
Yep,
tell when somebody's
I've been
trying too hard.
there.
I'm all
Yep.
just relax. Like,
I've been
have
there.
fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes, especially when you do like, because there was a point in time about almost a year ago that I was doing shows like every single weekend,
Mhm.
and I feel like you can very easily get trapped
Yes.
into that
Yeah, yeah.
because every producer will just be like, "Would you do my show?" And
Mm.
when you're
Yeah.
if you don't have anything going on, most times it's like, yeah, where's the harm in it? But then you have 7 commitments
Right.
in 1 week, and you're like, I can't do this.
Mhm.
And especially if it's not like paid.
Yeah. Oh.
My philosophy now that I've solidified myself is like, if I get paid, I'll do it. I will 100% put my commitment to it. But if it's for a charity,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
if I'm doing that, then it's another thing. But if it's just like, oh, we're doing the show and it's just free, and it's kind of like, well,
Tip spots.
tip
Right.
spots are hard.
I'll take a tip spot in Los Angeles. I'll
Right.
take a tip spot in New York. I'll even take a tip spot in Oklahoma City because their drag is fucking crazy there, actually. But here in Albuquerque, unfortunately, a tip spot is where drag is a lot like a multi-level marketing scheme. And it's
Right.
like, no, you're not going to make me work my pussy for $3 saying I might get $50.
But that's why I think that's why you always see the girls doing other things. Like,
Mhm.
we do drag, but we're also doing something else. Like, not even just a day job, but we're just
Mhm.
like trying to desperately branch out and find some other hobby,
Yeah.
so that way we can have anything. Like Avery does her wigs, or
Mhm.
she sews,
Right.
or
I like playing games. I've
You like
gotten way
playing your
more into
games?
gaming, yeah.
I-
It's fun. The
I do
Switch is so
the-
fun.
I mean, I don't play games, but I play games.
Yes.
I'm just kidding.
Speaking of games, actually not speaking of games, I want to ask you a question.
Okay. Oh gosh, here we
She
go.
said, "Do you believe in milk and cookies?"
I'm lactose.
Um,
Oh yeah, that's
kidding.
right. Oh, wait, you're not?
No. Oh, well,
Oh wait,
kind
no,
of.
you're
Diabetic.
just diabetic, but
Yeah.
you're not lactose.
I actually, I'm like a little bit lactose, but like I can have it, but if I eat too much, then that's when I get sick.
Oh yeah. My boyfriend's the
Lactose
same
will
way.
really do it to
Yeah,
you.
it's not like where I just like I have to be careful because my throat will close if I have way too much or if it's like super.
Oh, uh-huh.
Are you a fan of oat milk?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I
See,
love
that's
oat
right.
milk
Oat
and
milk or almond milk.
coffee.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Oat milk
almond
and
milk.
coffee is so good.
Mhm.
Like
It really
ugh,
is. Yeah, yeah.
so
What was your
yummy.
question?
I'm sorry.
Oh,
yes.
no, it's okay.
Oh,
What
no,
do
that's the thing about
you
the show. We just bounce everywhere.
It's just the whatever show,
Yeah.
you know. That's why we named it Queerly Disturbed.
True.
I'm so glad we came up with that dumbass name.
I am too.
Yeah.
The other
Um,
name that we had for
I
it
also
was
love
just
your English accent.
I
The little like
when I
the voiceovers.
Oh,
I'm
the little
yeah.
voiceover
yeah,
I
I was
made,
like,
yeah.
who and why, and I love it.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
I'm a. Everybody always thinks I'm stuck up, and I'm not. I'm actually like a huge nerd, and I like make the
It's
funniest
true.
Probably 'cause you're-
noises and
well, it's 'cause you're an
sing and dance
Aries.
behind the bar. But I also have a resting bitch face, so most people are just scared of
Yeah.
me. But I'm actually like when I have a resting bitch face, I'm like this. But I'm also thinking
Me
in
too.
my head, it's like that's so real.
No,
It's
me
a future. I
too.
can't see. Like that's what's happening in my head.
I just see
But
the
you
like.
think I'm a bitch,
'cause
but
you're
I'm
an
in my
Aries and your
head
drag is
thinking
really
about
fun. True.
yeah. I'm like, am I thinking even? Am I you? Like that's what's really happening.
True. Like, so at Carlioki, one of the big things that I love to advertise is that it's not just me that does it. It's me, and then Dion's with me, and then we have Moll KJ or Bobby KJ.
Yes.
And it's a team effort, and I can tell, like, you know, Dion and I, I've worked with her for so long now that I can tell when like someone's pissing her off.
Oh,
So I'll come up and be
Yeah.
like, "All right, what's going on? Who's
Right.
Yeah,
fucked
because
up?"
bar people are annoying sometimes.
yes.
Like
Yes.
bar people are
Yes.
wild.
And you know
Yes.
what? Most
You've
of the
got bar
time-
people, you've got street people, you've got store people, and bar people are pretty rank.
Well,
Like,
yeah. I will say though, like the audience for Carlioki is very interesting
Mhm.
because it's not like
it's not like rowdy bar people either.
no, because the rowdy bar people came once and then left.
Yeah, it honestly just varies. Like
Do you remember that when that
yeah.
happened?
It just especially with that it just you never know what you're really gonna get depending on the night.
Mhm.
But yeah, you'll get
Some nights we'll look at each other and be like, "Oh, it's gonna be a dead
Oof,
night,"
yeah.
and then it gets completely flooded.
yeah.
Or some nights we'll be like, "Oh, it's gonna be really busy," and then
Yeah, and then everybody sings a slow song, and I'm like,
oh my
I've literally
God.
walked up and be like, "Can somebody just please sing like a fast
Something
song
Yeah,
because
now.
it's sucking the energy out of me."
Oh.
Right, you're like,
Literally,
this is literally a
yeah. I'm like,
depressing
if
shift
I
now.
hear a slow song one more time, like
when we did
I'm
the Barbie
gonna-
party and they were all doing slow
Right,
songs.
it was so depressing. I was like, please, somebody sing like something upbeat because I'm going to just shut it down. I'm
True.
like, close. I'm sorry, y'all gonna have to be depressed somewhere else.
But you know, I'm very thankful that I get to work with you for
Oh,
that because it's
Same,
like
ditto.
it's just such a fun time, and it's created this kind of level for me that I'm like, oh, I don't really need to do as many shows anymore because I do this, and
Yeah.
you know, like especially when I'm in like work mode and I'm working around talking with people, sometimes when like a situation happens,
Mhm.
it's really nice having those eyes behind the bar being like,
Yeah.
"Hey, don't put your nose in her face."
Well, and that's what people have to realize is like we're there, especially in a queer bar. As a staff member, we're there not only to yes provide you libation, but to keep you safe because
True.
we're not
Mhm.
always safe, and so I have to keep you safe. I have to watch out for like especially like consent, consent, and consent. Like
Mhm.
there's a lot of things that can happen, and if we're not paying attention, it'll happen to you, and you don't want that to happen.
True.
So I have to make sure that you're physically okay, the people around you are physically okay, everybody feels comfortable.
Yep.
Especially like we're a safe space, so I want to keep it that way.
Right.
Yep.
So and I've even had to tell my friends like maybe don't touch somebody like that or they're a little uncomfortable. I always want it
Yeah.
to be safe for everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because some spaces can turn unsafe really
Very
quickly,
quickly,
so it's
yeah.
good to stay on top of it.
Yeah, we try to keep eyes on everything
Yeah.
for that reason because
True.
it can easily turn where it's not so fun anymore.
Well,
Yeah,
and
or
I've been in
things can
some
happen.
I've been in a couple skeevy little bar situations, and they're
Right.
not cute. So,
and
like,
it's really nice because you guys at Soch are like actual bartenders.
Hmm.
You're not just amateurs behind a bar.
Thank you.
You
I
guys,
try.
yeah, you know what you're
Yeah.
doing, and
We actually come up with a lot of custom cocktails. Cobain, really.
love him.
But yeah, he loves that. And I'm like, good for you. Teach me the recipe. But like, yeah, it's a really fun. It can be a really really fun job. I love it.
Right.
But also realize that like I'm not your servant.
mhm,
One,
right?
and like I'm not your waitress.
Yep.
I'm here to help you. But other than that, I don't like when people snap at me, like, or
Oh,
like, yeah, they're just know your order
mm-mm.
when you get there as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah.
You're standing in line for 5 minutes and you get up and you're like, I don't know. And I'm
No,
like,
yeah, it's
know what
like
you
just
want.
pick
Why did you
something.
waste my time?
Right. Like, and if you have questions, like, let me know. I can help you. But if you get up there and then you don't know, like,
Like, get
like,
the traffic moving,
yeah,
please.
it's just
Like,
true.
we're in
we're
a traffic jam here.
we're all above the age of 21, so we
Yeah,
all need to
like-
act like adults. And
True.
I,
True.
so just there's bar etiquette. You can look it up. Like,
Very,
there's a
very
lot
true.
of
And a
TikToks
lot of
about
people
it,
forget
but
that
there's
shit.
bar etiquette. Yeah.
And
There's,
there's
like,
younger generations of kids that are gonna turn 21, and then they're
Mhm.
gonna bring that shit into the bar. And
Yeah, oh,
that's
I
where I'm
always
like,
know when
All
somebody.
the
y'all need to
iPad
get your
babies in
bar
the
etiquette
bar.
together. Y'all need to get your bar etiquette
Yeah.
together.
So
Yeah.
it's funny because like there's two different ones. There's the young ones, and then there's the way older ones that are used to the old ways.
That's true.
And it's not like that anymore.
Mm-mm.
No,
It's
yeah.
not like that anymore, Grandpa. Like, you can't just go touch somebody
That's so
because
true.
yeah, that's how old gay used to work. But it is 2023 or 4 now. Who knows? But yeah, they're just
Oh, I remember the
they're
days
on a
when I would
different
have
level.
like
yeah.
some weird man in his 60s.
Mhm.
Like I'd be in full drag and he would be following me around the
Yeah,
bar.
it's
Oh my.
tuggling on his junk.
No,
I'm like,
thank
that is
you.
not how this works anymore.
Yeah, we're not. No,
It's
yeah.
not.
But what's nice is like at Soch, if that happens, it's like, hey,
Oh, I'm not afraid. I will
Ah,
tell you.
my
I'll tell
legs
anybody. I'm like,
again.
that is bad, and I will. If you do it again, you're gone. Like,
Right.
I am not afraid. You come up to me and be like, please. If anybody ever makes you feel uncomfortable and I'm there, let me know because I am not like afraid to tell anybody to not
Right.
be
and,
like that. Like,
right, and to get
like
kicked
you
out.
remember the
Yeah,
nose
We're rude.
incident?
Yes, like it's just
The what?
The nose incident.
Oh, the finger in the nose
yeah.
incident.
Some
Yeah,
people,
that fucking
especially
idiot.
with alcohol in their system, and you being a performer, they feel the audacity to
That you're not a person. That,
that
you're
you're
like
you're just an object. Like, yeah, no, I'm not. Like, I'm a human being.
Yeah, people
And
are
I
so
don't want
annoying
to be
sometimes.
touched. And yes, my hair is cool, but don't touch it.
Yeah,
Yes.
no.
You know what I mean? Or don't touch. Like, this is expensive makeup. Don't touch my face. Don't touch my boobs. Like when I have like a chest plate.
Some
Like that's not for you to touch. Again, consent. That goes for anybody. Drag, not drag. Like consent
Exactly.
is very important.
True.
Yeah, because some people act like it's the fucking playground at the
Yeah.
bar. It's really weird.
They do.
Yeah,
And then they get
alcohol-
alcohol in their system and they just
Yeah,
get even worse.
Yeah, people. I've literally seen very intelligent, smart, great people go to the complete left, and I'm like, that's one thing of being a bartender is you see. I don't want to say it's the real person, but you see a lot of things where I'm like, I'm gonna get an apology tomorrow. That's for sure.
That's right.
Because they just some people go
Yeah.
for, like I said, from like an awesome, amazing human being to an absolute asshole
Mm-hmm.
or
1
a
minute
fool
and
of
great.
themselves,
Yeah.
Yep.
and you're just like, well. And
I
we
know.
see
No,
everything.
thank
I always
you.
compare it to a zoo. People do the craziest
Yeah.
things and not realize that we're right on the other side, just like looking through a glass mirror. Like I'm like,
Exactly.
I saw everything that you just did,
Yep.
and I hope that your husband doesn't catch you
Because
because yeah, you see some things
That's
as a
true.
bartender, and they don't even care that you're there. Like I said, it's like you're at the zoo. Like
Yep.
they don't even realize that you're there, and I'm like, but I heard what you said, sir. It's yeah.
Yeah, yikes.
Crazy.
So you've been doing drag here since you said about 2018, right?
Yeah.
So throughout the
March of
years,
2018.
throughout the years of it becoming more saturated, like it
Mhm.
has been, what do you like? I don't know. Like, what do you think? Like, what are
Um,
your opinions on just?
I love
the
that
things.
they're because even before that, like I said, I used to do choreography and backup dance for Queens. I love that there's so many different outlets for like nobody's
Yeah.
the same. Like there's not one type of way to do drag, anymore, and I love that because you could be whatever you want. Everybody has their own type of artistry that they want to provide. So I love that that's come about. But I
Right.
also feel like with especially with RuPaul, everybody thinks and that they deserve something. That
Mhm.
well, I deserve to be in this cast. Why?
Right.
If you work your ass off and you are to a certain aesthetic, then yes, you deserve to get paid and be a part of this cast. But just because you've been doing drag for 20 years doesn't mean you deserve to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
You can do drag, but you have to
Yeah.
do drag successfully.
Right. Like
Mhm.
somebody could start off and be amazing, and some people could take 10 years to get to where they are. But at the same time,
And some
N-
people are still on that journey.
right. Like for me, it's like everybody always feels like they deserve something.
Yeah.
When I think anybody deserves something is when you put in the work. I want to see the work and consistency. Like,
True.
Right.
at a certain level. Not everybody deserves to get paid yet.
Yet. Yeah.
Not saying that they don't deserve it later on, but like if you're not on the same level of those people that are getting paid, then you shouldn't be getting paid just because
Well,
other
and the
people
budget
are.
is limited in some of those places, so not everyone
Right.
can
And I
like.
understand that.
Yeah,
but
so like some people can't, sometimes you just don't fit the cut,
yeah.
and the people that do, they have to get paid.
Mhm.
So like,
Yeah.
and it doesn't, unfortunately, like that kind of stuff can turn into a bit of like a whirlpool of like,
Mhm.
well, a lot of people just don't end up getting paid.
Mhm.
Well, and I
But
also feel
like,
like there are parts of that where it's not there are times that it's the producer and the
Mm.
producer's fucking up, right?
mhm,
Period.
But there's also times where we gotta hold the venues accountable
Also, yeah.
because I feel like I hear all these stories about Queens in New York and LA and all of these big places where
Mhm.
they do it way more often than us,
Mhm.
and they're like, "Well, we get paid $200 base even for the bad performers,"
Yeah.
and it's like, what?
Yeah.
They listen to what we get paid sometimes, and it's like,
That's
you
all.
what?
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
all of
yeah.
this?
mhm,
A lot of people don't realize like how much work goes into it. It's not, oh, can you just show up for 5 minutes? And I'm like, it just took me 4 hours to get ready, and you want me
Yep,
to do that for 5 minutes
exactly.
Right.
for free? Like,
Exactly.
but again, it depends on
I think yeah,
where
it
you're
just it
at.
also depends.
It depends on where
Yeah.
you want to also place your drag, because
Right.
not everyone also needs to do drag professionally.
No, yeah,
True.
definitely.
Some people can just do drag for fun. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
times where I just do drag for fun, and don't get
Mhm.
me wrong, there's gigs that I get that are paid.
Mhm.
There's one coming up that I'm doing that'll be paid that's really fun. But I also like drag enough that like doing it just for the hell of it is fun,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
doing little passion projects like this is
Yeah.
a good time.
Right.
And sure, in the future, something like this I would like to maybe invest in to maybe see if it does pay out. But starting it as a passion project and just being okay with it being for free for now is worth it as long as you're not demanding too much.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is fine. So like, thankfully here we have our little time that we can schedule up to 4 hours.
Mhm.
And I'm like, cool, doing that and not having to get paid, but also not having to like be at the demand of everyone else, and we
Right.
just get to sit and talk. That's fun.
Right.
So some people, when they do drag, they just don't need to always go off to the show
Mhm.
and make a buck off of it. You can sometimes just like do it as a hobby.
Yeah.
I mean, look at me in karaoke.
Yeah.
When I started doing karaoke, it was completely random. I didn't know what I was doing, and then once I found like
Yeah.
that little bit of, oh my god, this is what I can do, it made me realize like you don't have to go up there and be a little puppet on stage every
Mhm.
single time.
Yeah, and the other thing I think is like when you're doing a lot of this stuff and trying to become a professional with it, there's a lot of people that the ones that do it professionally, they're not always doing it like performing wise to get paid. They're not always performing.
Right.
What I'm
Mhm.
trying to say, sorry.
Yeah.
They're not always performing. Sometimes they're making drag for other people and
Mhm.
making money off of it, and that's how they're making their
A3,
living.
Yeah.
And like
yeah,
and
Violet used to do
yeah,
Violet used to do
exactly,
it.
and
She still does.
plenty of other
You know,
performers in all
Chaos
sorts
and-
of areas of the U.S.
Chaos and Pyra in
Mhm.
Arizona.
Yeah.
They do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and like they make all sorts of things, not just performing, and that makes up a lot of their income. And sometimes, unfortunately, things like Drag Race, they perpetuate a bit of a thing where you
Mhm.
think that like a drag career is just performing, and that's not always the case.
No.
Right.
That's sometimes it is actually doing like labored gig work of like styling someone, making something for someone for a couple $100. And yeah, the pay around it is just interesting, and it's not the simplest thing, I think.
Right.
And a lot of the times it's just gig work, it's just side hustle. Sometimes you're not supposed to just do it full time. Sometimes that's bullshit.
Yeah, I feel
True.
like that's why it's called. There's a difference between being a professional and not.
Yeah.
Because if you take it serious enough, that's when you become a professional.
Yep.
I mean, it used to be
Right.
like that. Like when people be like, "I'm a professional dancer," and I was like, "Did you get paid to dance?
Right.
Did somebody pay you, or are you just a dancer?"
Right.
There's a difference between that.
Right.
Which is not a bad thing. You
No,
could just
yeah.
be a dancer or a professional dancer. Model, same way. Like, are you a professional model? Are you getting paid a check to model, or are you just on Instagram?
Right.
It's two different things.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
True.
And not one is not necessarily better than the other, but it's just like, watch your title. Do you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, know your wealth, but also like
Right.
you have to put in a certain amount of time and effort to become a professional, and that's what I meant by like.
Yeah.
It's almost
It just
like
takes
the
all that
difference between a
consistency,
like
bedroom
you
queen
mentioned, and
like
that does-
a full-time performance girl.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because you can have a bedroom queen who's absolutely sickening.
Yeah.
Like I've seen some that I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But they've never been on stage a day in their
Mhm.
life. Whereas you have these girls that have been on the stage performing, selling shots, doing X, Y, and Z
Mhm.
for years, and it's like you can't compare the two.
Yeah. There's not.
Mhm.
There isn't. You can't.
Yeah, I just think it should be a lot of people need to approach it, I think, a bit more passionately
Mhm.
and for themselves before they try to take a check for it, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Well, I
also
also
trying to
feel
do it
like
in different ways.
Finding your passion in drag, sometimes it takes taking a break.
Yes. Definitely.
Which interesting question for you. When you think of a look,
Mhm.
do you like sketch it out and make a concept, or are you kind of like me and where you just go, oh, this, and this, and this?
Kind of. I know, like, usually what I have. So my aesthetic, drag aesthetic especially, I'm very, like, MTV, like, very, like, music video, like, I always just try to, like, come up with, like, a concept or something. So it's like, like if the music is about water, I want it, something like that. Where
Right.
always kind of like, it's cohesive.
Yeah.
So when it comes with the look, I usually start with one thing and then like with shoes and then work my way up. Or like I knew, like today I wanted to wear a jacket
Right.
and I wanted to wear pants. So I was just like, what can I do to like, and then I put it all together. I work with one thing and then put it all together.
See, I feel like that sometimes creates some of the best looks.
Yeah.
Because I'll be doing the same thing in my closet where I'm like, oh, I really want to wear this.
Mhm.
Like, I love like this hat, but sometimes I'm like, well, what do I wear it with?
Right.
And then I just kind of pull around and find out, and
Yeah, definitely.
so
Yeah.
so I get it.
Okay.
I think the on the spot looking for shit just
Sometimes
then-
can be the best.
and then you wear it at the gigs, and all of those people will come up and be like, this look is amazing.
Mhm.
This is one of the best looks I've
Yeah.
ever seen on you.
Same.
True.
Sometimes when you put too much effort into it, so I always say like, don't like what is it when you like wear too much jewelry? Like you put it all on and then like you take like edit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like don't
yeah.
throw everything into one pot and just go with it. Like
You just treat yourself like the doll.
yeah, put
Yeah.
everything on and then you like it and then edit yourself a little bit
Right.
because you don't want too much. 'Cause
True.
then it's just like whoa, but
True.
yeah.
Well, thank you, Dyonne.
No,
thank you
thank
for being
you.
here.
Yeah,
I
it
think
was
we
fun.
just got signaled for 2 minutes a couple minutes ago, so I think we're out of time now.
Wow.
But
I
yeah,
think-
thank you
yeah,
so much.
a
We would love to
pleasure.
have you again.
Yeah, sure.
Definitely come on again and talk some more tea with us.
Definitely.
Yeah. Our goal
I think I
is
did a
like,
good job. I didn't talk too much shit about anybody.
No?
Well,
That's what I thought was
and
gonna
whoever
happen. I
you
was
bring
like,
up, it's
oh, I'm
okay.
gonna
We
bring
can
up some people
bleep
that are gonna
out
have to
someone
bleep
if
out
ever
somebody's
needed.
name. So I was like, hold yourself in. Don't let it out. I'm just kidding.
That's
If
when
you ever need to talk your shit, I know how to bleep things out so good.
They're just gonna be like, was she
You
just
know how
cussing
And
the
then
whole time?
whoever
was gonna
and then
say.
whoever comments, they're just wearing the shoe. Like if the
Right.
shoe fits, work.
Right. I mean, that's
Yep.
people are like, were you talking about me? I was like, if you think it was about you, then maybe.
That's
I
right.
guess if the,
Yeah,
if the shoe
allegedly,
fits,
I
and the shoe
guess.
fits,
Yeah,
then there we
allegedly.
go.
You know how tempted I am now that I know that you can bleep to just look at the camera and go, here are the lists of names that I'm going to say fuck you to.
Imagine.
And then I just go boom, boom,
Here's
boom, boom,
everyone
boom.
that I have canceled in my brain.
Right. For sure.
Well,
But-
this has been Queerly Disturbed. I'm Jon'Moll.
I'm Cashmere Rico Steele. I forgot I wasn't Carly for a second.
Carl Cashmere Rico Stratton.
Yes. Oh,
We're-
God, yes. I got like 17 names.
And
our
our
lovely special
our wonderful,
guest,
lovely, sparkly guest,
Dyonne
Dahl.
Dyonne. Well,
like the pizza.
well, we'll
I'm
see
gonna
y'all
get you
next.
pizza next
Oh
time.
my god.
All right.
We'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Mom.